Welcome to the OS Marketing Report, your weekly breakdown of what's happening in marketing, what's working, and what you should be doing about it. I'm Travis.
And I'm Lauren.
Now let's get into what's changed across the social platforms this week with today's weekly pulse. Up first, we have Instagram, and Instagram has improved their Insights UI by adding additional metrics like share rate, skip rate, and views over time. So this week, Instagram announced that they're updating their Insights interface to make it a little bit easier for companies to access the data from the home screen of their interface. So they put an update to add clearer tabs. They're showing different metrics like engagement activity and different audio and different audience demographics. And like I said earlier, they are adding new metrics like the share rate, skip rate, and views over time. So what this means for you is instead of just looking at views and likes, you now have a little bit more insight into the people that are viewing your content and how they're viewing it or sharing the content. And Instagram's doing this because they're competing a lot with TikTok and YouTube right now. So the name of the game is getting people on their platform. And how do you get people on their platform is to have creators make good content on your platform that gets shared out to other people, bringing them onto the platform. So Instagram's trying to make it as easy as possible to give creators access to the data so they can understand who's consuming their content, why they're consuming it, and ultimately make better content. So what this means for you is you should be using these metrics and actually learning about what's making your content work or what's making it fail. So dive into the creator insights and start looking at different metrics other than just the likes and the views. But I think this is really interesting because it's ultimately an attention engagement game. They're trying to give you whatever you need to make the best content that ultimately gets shared.
Yeah, I think this is a really good update because I know when I go look into Instagram analytics, you can see total watch time, but now that you can see the total skip time, I think that will really paint a picture in like how, again, people are digesting the whole entire clip, if they are or are not. Additionally, I think that is going to be super useful when it comes to sharing information and streamlining it, or at least adding additional entertaining components to the overall clip. Because again, watch time is extremely important, but also that skip ratio is going to be super interesting to see what people say about.
Yeah, and I think the views over time is also interesting too, because it's kind of letting you know if your content is valuable that users are coming back to consume, or if it's just like super entertaining and just goes viral once and I watched it, I laughed, I shared it, and I moved on, compared to I watched it, I learned something, and I want to come back and continue to learn from that or reuse that content. So that one is a really important metric to kind of show you maybe something that you should continue making content around, or maybe the format of that video was really well done and you should continue making content in that format.
This is a good callback to our last episode where it's like, again, the shotgun, the shotgun strategy versus like the sniper strategy. Again, you want to use these analytics to create that sniper strategy because then you're just shooting out content that you know the audience will enjoy.
Exactly. So what should you do about it? Here's what I think brands should actually do about this. I think the action step here is go and look at your last 10 reels and identify the top 3 by shares, not by likes or views, but by shares. See what people are sharing. And then look at the top 3 that had weaker like skip signals, or what 3 videos did people fall off early, and identify why people are leaving or moving on from your content. And then start to use that data to build the next set of content that you're putting out. Maybe reuse some of those things that performed well. And on the other ones, if they fell off early, maybe you should adjust your hooks. So dive into the new metrics, take a note of the top 3 in each one of these metrics, and start developing a way to kind of benefit from this and improve your content moving forward. And up next, we have another Instagram update. Instagram is bringing an AI video generation into its edit tool. So Instagram is trying to make their video editing the go-to tool for creators. They want you to create your videos and edit your videos in the Instagram platform. So they added a simplified AI video creation. So what it is you go to create a new post and you'll see a new AI button. When you click on that AI button, it's going to let you generate a clip from a text prompt, a video, or a picture. And this isn't a green light to just go and use this and create AI content. That's not what they want to do. We've talked about in the past, they don't want AI generated content. They want original content. This is more a testing tool. They want you to use this maybe to test out different hooks, test out different scenes, or even like test out scripts. Have it come up with a video for you, have it come up with 5 videos for you, and then maybe see which one you relate to the best, one that you think your audience will like, and then film it yourself. So don't just use this to create your content. Use it as a way to test, or use it for B-roll footage to put in between some of your user-generated or user recorded content.
Yeah, from what I've heard, finding B-roll can be some of the most tedious parts of creating a video, let alone then you're also editing it in accordingly to the clip. So I wonder how much people are going to save time with this. And then again, being able to produce more clips at a higher rate and hopefully in a more efficient rate so that, again, you're hitting your audience more frequently rather than putting a lot of stress and time into creating that content.
Yeah, I think that's the key and why Instagram is doing this. It's all about time. They want you to create content. They want people to watch your content. So they want you to create as much content as you can. And how do you do that? Make it easy as hell to create and put out new pieces. So I think that's the key here is they want you to start doing things faster and easier. They want you to do it in the platform so you're not using another system or another software, editing it there, emailing it over, because all that takes time. They want you to just crank out content.
Yeah. And again, time is the most important asset. So got to be useful with it.
Yeah. So what should brands do about this? I think that you should use this tool we've talked about before, that Instagram is pushing out stuff that, or Instagram is pushing out content that uses new features and new tools. So there's a chance that Instagram will promote your content a little bit more if you're using their tool to create the content. So try it out. I would use this as a way to come up with 3 or 4 video ideas. Use this to come up with the idea. Maybe it'll give you a hook or a script. It might give you some scenery or settings or backdrops that you might think are good ideas, and see which one land or see which ones you like, and then re-record those. Put your personal human touch on it. Get your face in front of the camera. Or at the very least, like we said, use it for B-roll to just put fillers in between it so you're not just staring at the camera the entire time. Chop up your videos and use an AI B-roll.
Yeah.
All right, moving away from Instagram, we're going to go over to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn just expanded their off-platform event promotions. So they have event promotions. They've been doing this for a while, but now they're allowing you to promote events that happen off of LinkedIn. So this is kind of a interesting thing for people that run webinars, have training sessions, or kind of any event in person or anywhere else. You now don't need to run that event strictly on LinkedIn. So you can run an ad for the event using the events ads and direct users directly to a landing page, a form, or directly to a webinar. So I think this is interesting because LinkedIn has kind of been a place for people to post thoughts and like a thought leader. And I think they're trying to get more into the event marketing and lead generation space. So again, like all these other platforms, they're going to be promoting these systems that are new. So try and use this early on to promote your live events. If you're someone that has webinars, test out with this and see how it goes. This is kind of turning into a lead generation system from LinkedIn. You have really strong targeting. You can target the exact person that you're looking for, the exact job role that you're looking for, and get them into your webinar. So I think it's a really good opportunity for people that are running events right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And as someone who puts a lot of things together for LinkedIn, I think that this is also a great callback to one of our last episodes where we don't necessarily want to focus on clever headlines or clever like captions of any kind. Be extremely direct, because with this additional update, like we'll be able to not only target the right person that you're looking for to attend, but also it's like it will drive that information. It's all in SEO that is going to be pulling people into this. I have to do a little bit more research on this, but I'm curious to see what kind of information LinkedIn will hand over, or I guess it would be more external when it comes to collecting data from the event and everything, like emails or whatever it might be. But again, it's like, I'm happy that they kind of removed the secondary step of creating just a page. Like now I can really funnel it forward. Like we don't need this middle funnel at all. Like there's no drop off. And I know that will significantly help some of my clients because they do have events that we promote on LinkedIn. But again, I'm really happy that there's this new function within the ad space on LinkedIn that will really help drive results.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said at the beginning of that was, don't be vague about it. If you're running a webinar, stop with the, here's how you can make thousands of dollars. Who, why, and what. Talk about, here's how, here's a training webinar for HVAC companies, how to increase their average service rate. Something super specific. Mention who you're helping in that title. It's going to help LinkedIn target the exact person, and they know all that data. So be as specific as you can. There's no point in being vague anymore.
I have a really quick suggestion as well when putting this together. This has helped me significantly since I was in high school, like in AP courses or whatever. But when we used to have to put AP like reports together, I forget what they're called anyway, but you want to write in a point action how kind of standard where here's the point of the webinar, here's an action that you can take away from the webinar, and then the synopsis or like the how-to part is just like join thousands of others who have significantly increased their ROI, whatever it might be, right? The how can be the CTA. So again, I think that will really help when, again, with that SEO and pushing out, again, what new features are coming on LinkedIn. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on it.
Now, my favorite update of the week is in YouTube. So YouTube just updated the platform, their mobile platform, to allow custom timestamp sharing. So on desktop, you've been able to share a YouTube video and mark a specific timestamp that you want to share at. So when someone opens up that link, they get directed directly to that point in the video and can watch from there. You haven't been able to do that on mobile. On mobile, you have to just rely to clipping a video and send a small clip. But once someone opens that link, they only see that clip and they have to go to the profile or go to the video to actually see the rest of the video. But now they're updated it and they're allowing you to send a timestamp link from mobile, which is one of my favorite features because when I get sent clips, I want to see the context of the clip. I want to see what happened before or what happened after. Or if I enjoy it, I want to watch the rest of the video. And I don't want to have to click in or add extra clicks to watch the video. This is a really interesting thing from YouTube. I think this is primarily because they want users to stick around and watch the entire length of the video. Another callback to previous videos where we're talking about long form is not going anywhere. And YouTube is making a push to get people back to their long form content. So this is one of their moves to get viewers to watch the entire video. It also helps brands. If you put out a long form video and people are clipping or sending timestamps, now it's going to help people watch more of your video, stick around longer. So it's really important to think about your long form videos, think about the clippable moments, and understand if this is a shareable moment, how can we make content around this? So one thing that I think is really important here would be if you're a service business, this is great for facts. If you're spitting out facts around your business or your services, don't just do one, do multiple. If someone shares one specific fact, chances are someone now can stick around for the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth fact as well. So think about how you're structuring your long form videos now that users can share from a specific point and users can stick around once they're watching.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see how YouTube's breakdown has their analytics part of it. Because I know when it comes to checking my clients' analytics, it's like you can see how many, especially in email marketing, you can see how many are opening via desktop versus mobile. And so I wonder, I think this is a really strategic move on YouTube's part to continue to boost mobile presence. Because I know as a YouTube, I ingest a lot of YouTube and I know that I do a lot of it on my desktop or my iPad. And so I am curious to see again how they're going to be continuing to evolve the mobile aspect of it because again, people are on their phones all the time. So I think that this was again a great move and I'm curious to see what additional things are going to come out of it.
Yeah, and don't forget it is a mobile update, so it is for mobile. And I think one of the things I like about mobile and what I like with good creators is timestamping the video and putting in the description specific timestamps. If someone opens up this mobile link and they see that description and they like what they're seeing, if they see a timestamp for later in the video, it's going to make it even easier for them to click to that timestamp and watch that part of the video. So think about that when you're creating your videos. Make it as easy as possible for people to understand what's coming up or what's in your video, maybe what they missed. If they came in and they're halfway through the video, make it easy to see what happened in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Again, don't be vague. Say exactly what you're talking about in each one of these segments.
And again, that's going to help with SEO and people's time, which is the most important asset. So, yeah.
Yep.
I was the 57th pick in my draft. Worked out pretty well. This year, Heinz is starting a new tradition. Today, the 57th pick will be inducted into the Mr. 57 Club. So to the player about to be drafted, welcome to the club.
All right, moving over to our breakdown of the week, where we focus on a campaign to highlight. This week's campaign refers to the NFL. So last weekend, we had the NFL draft, and Kraft Heinz had a pretty cool campaign around the 57 number of their brand. So what they did was they launched a campaign, the Heinz Mr. 57 at the NFL draft. And for the 57th pick in the NFL draft, they gave them a special limited edition Heinz red jacket and a lifetime supply of Heinz products. So ketchup, mustard, whatever they got going on. It was really interesting because this happened in Pittsburgh, which is the hometown of Heinz. And it got even more interesting when the 57th pick was a player to the Chicago Bears, which Chicago is kind of notorious for not using ketchup on certain products. So it kind of caused this to gain a little bit more momentum because interviewers and media were asking the 57th pick. His name was Logan Jones. They asked him how he's going to use this promotion, how he's going to use a lifetime supply of ketchup if he uses it.
Has Heinz 57 reached out yet?
They haven't reached out to me. Oh, maybe they have. I don't know. I've been on my phone all day, but I had no idea that was a thing until after the whole pick went down. So that's pretty cool.
What do you like ketchup on?
Just about everything I eat. I feel like fries, burger. I don't know if I could say hot dog here, but yeah, just about everything. So.
And it was a little clippable moment because he's drafted to Chicago. He even mentioned, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I put ketchup on my hot dog. So it was kind of fun that they did it in Pittsburgh. It landed with a player that went to Chicago. And what I want to highlight about this campaign is that this is a cultural moment. It's something that happens every single year. It's a big event. And there's a lot of people covering this event. Heinz gave them something to cover. There's people talking about the picks, what teams are doing. And now there's a 57th pick that's wearing a jacket, and there's media coverage about it. So everybody that was covering that put out clips, put out short form content about it. They have a lot of traction on TikTok and short forms because of this. And one of the things that a spokesperson from Heinz said was this was an intentional move to move away from just a logo sponsorship that's on the TV screen, on a backdrop, or on the field, and to try and get into more shareable events or shareable stunts that they could do on a regular basis. And I think they knocked it out of the park because this had a lot of traction. A lot of people were talking about it. A lot of coverage came into it. And it made it easy for people to cover compared to just putting a logo on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do have a quick domino effect. Like this just like light bulb popped off and like where I'm like, so back in the 80s, members only jackets were like a huge trend, right? Well, the way I think of like a members jacket now, especially one that I will tune into, is like the 5 Timers Club on SNL. And I want to say Jack Black actually recently. It was Jack Black and then Jack White was the the music host. Anyway, so but he just got entered into the 5 Timers Club, and they always have a repeating bit or opening bit about someone coming into the 5 Timers Club. So now I think that this was really strategic with like the Mr. 57 and the draft pick, because you get that members only jacket, again, pulling back from the 80s, but making it more current. And again, I think that this is absolutely repeatable. I wonder what kind of campaigns are going to continue to evolve over time with this. I was definitely keeping an eye on their, like on Heinz's Instagram page to see how everything was coming together. And I love how bold the red is. Like I thought the marketing team was extremely smart with putting this together, having on-site activations, getting additional interviews. And yeah, I'm excited to see what next year's Mr. 57 is going to be. Even though I'm not necessarily like the biggest football fan, it's like I am going to tune in to see who got the next jacket.
And that right there is the point, is like you tune in next year. So I think for like the takeaway from this is repeatable campaigns are awesome. And every single brand out there, even if you're a small business, you have some type of a brand asset, a phrase, a number, an offer that you have, or maybe even like a local town or state, I don't know what to say, a local town or state ritual or something around your local area that is relatable to everyone in your market. So try and find something to tie into, whether it's a brand asset or a local event or something that's going on, and create something around that moment, something that people will talk about, something that people will react to, they'll share, maybe take photographs around. So I came up with 2 examples for small businesses of what you could do. So let's say you're a local HVAC company. You could run a campaign around the first 90-degree day of the year and run like a 90-degree furnace to AC day and just run a silly campaign and promotion around, you guys have, 90-degree service windows. So now that it's becoming 90 degrees on that first day, we're now having a deal where we'll come out and run through a 90-degree readiness checklist. Make sure your AC is running, make sure everything's aligned, turn it into some type of content or local PR that people will think about every single year. Something that I guess is maybe a little bit more relatable would be a coffee company, the First Frost Coffee. Think of the first frost of the year. People are starting to warm up or want to warm up. How can you create a moment around that where people look forward to it and have a cold moment? So on that first frost, maybe you do the first 50 customers get a free small coffee. Put special sleeves on that coffee. Use special stickers that are only available for that day, and save those for next year. But something that is repeatable, that people can easily get stuck in their heads, they'll look forward to next year. Weather is really easy to play around. So just get creative and have something fun. I mean, it's just cool to have something to look forward to. You don't have to get that crazy or that special. You don't have to be on national TV or get a spot with the NFL draft. It could just be something around your local town. Just have fun, play with it, and again, run it reoccurringly and get it stuck in people's head.
Yeah. And I can definitely confirm that, especially being in the Midwest, that it's like weather is a common topic. Like, and you can absolutely move or create a campaign around it, especially with access to what the weather map is looking like. And again, just playing it up as best as you can. And I could not agree more about having some kind of special promotion or some kind of branding along that, because people will respond to a limited time deal, or like when they see that there's a couple of things that are around, but now they don't have access to it, it's going to build interest. So, yeah.
Okay, now let's move into this week's marketing playbook, where Lauren's going to teach you some fun educational content.
Yes, tune in, kids. Just joking. So what today's playbook is going to cover is creating an ad in Facebook. Now, the context to this is that whether you need to do this from an actual Facebook page, like your account will be attached to the page, so you need to have access to that. So in this scenario, I already got access to the ad account, and what I'm going to be doing is creating an ad for our team here on Optimized Solution. So I am going to go ahead and share. Okay. I'm going to go over here. All right, you guys can see this okay?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so as you can see, there are no additional ads right here, so we're going to just walk through this pretty slow. So up here in the left corner, well, and also over here, if you have multiple accounts, you want to make sure that you're under the right one. So under here, under campaigns, we're going to hit create. And let's see, kind of want leads, but do we really want to form when we have, sorry, I'm kind of still waking up. Okay, auction. Is this what we want? Yeah. All right, so we want action. All right, don't worry about that. Okay. So when it comes to the type of ad we're going to do an auction that's going to help us when it comes to the budget. And let's do traffic. Yeah, let's do that one. All right, we're definitely going to do recommended settings because AI is definitely going to help with streamlining stuff. All right, campaign name. This is just going to be a test. And Q3 clients. We'll get into that in a second. Okay, so let's see here. So budget strategy. I'm going to do campaign budgets. There we go. Okay, so right here, immediately under budget, we either have a daily option or a lifetime option. Now, don't freak yourself out about this. So what the standard is that you need to do at least $1 a day. So if we want to run this for like 30 days, hang on, let me see. Yes. Okay. So let's do this. Right. Should be okay. Campaign score is looking good right now. I tell you. You can do A/B testing, but in this case, I'm going to actually skip that for right now because I just want to give you like the basic premise of setting up an ad. Okay. So under categories, again, depending on what it is, like, you'll get to choose that, but this is not relevant for our team here. So here we go. Okay. We are going to send people to the website. We're going to do key clients. You definitely want to be clear on what that is going to look like. Maximize number of landing pages. Absolutely. I'm not going to do that.
So when you're walking through this, Lauren, what is the goal of this ad? I know we're doing it for us, but walk us through exactly what our goal is here and what we're trying to set up here.
So with Q3 clients, we are trying to drive people to our website. So that is what we're going to be doing here. This is the contact us page on Optimized Solutions website, which of course, anyone who is watching this can also reach out here to get a hold of our team, or you can always drop a comment. And so what I want to do is see how this ad is going to do with an audience that, again, is if anyone is looking for additional marketing help, we can drive them to our website and we'll be able to cross-reference any data that comes in from this, from clicks with this ad to actual contact or some like contact submissions on our website. So going with that here, our conversion is going to be sending people to our website. We definitely want to maximize number of landing page views. We're going to do a standard model. Yep. And here we go. Here's our schedule now. So we have $30 as our budget for right now. Again, I'm just throwing that out there. And it can go for 30 days, but you can also get a lot of bang for your buck if you actually do 2-week increments. Let's see. So everything is still looking good over here. We are going to update our location. We don't have a saved audience yet, but once you do, you can find that in here. Alrighty, let's edit this. Yeah, okay. Hang on. Yep, okay. We're just gonna do Chicago since I am local to the area. Awesome. All right. I don't know why this is in kilometers, but we're just gonna use that to our advantage. Let's drop it to about 30. Cool. Right. And again, that is like local to this region. We can go visit clients if they want. And yeah, just kind of keep going from this. Okay. So now, audience suggestions. Let's go into here. Here, you get into your demographics, right? So let's say that there are some business owners at 18, but we really want people around 30. Why not, right? And then all genders, no problems. Let's do business owners. Small business owners, perfect. So that's who we're going to target. I'm going to keep it simple, but you can add as many demographics as you want here. But again, we're just kind of doing this as an example. Alrighty, so we can also save audience. Audience name, small business owners. There we go. Hey, why is it minimum age? Oh, suggestions. Okay. There
This
we go.
part right here is going to save all those settings that you just set up. So if you wanted to
Correct.
reuse this in a future ad,
Yes, exactly. See, like here, you can use a saved audience. I just saved this, but as an ad runs, it's also going to collect additional data. So again, you'll be able to kind of pinpoint, or if you want to target certain people, like say it's construction owners or home improvement owners of some kind, like this is where you can start to save that and target or tailor your ad accordingly with who you're trying to reach. But this is where you would select, again, the page that you're setting up the ad for. All right, placements. What is this? Oh, no. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what more options are. Okay, yeah, no, this is fine. Again, this is more advanced stuff, and we're just doing a basic ad for right now. All right. There we go. Alrighty. I don't know why I need to keep doing all these ad names. 2, 3 clients. There we go. Nope, not going to create a template. Alrighty. So now we have our Facebook page, our Instagram profile. We don't have threads. Create ad. Sure. Here's our website. Alrighty. This is where we want to send people to. Dip, just to make sure. Display links. Content. A team under different. Oh no, wrong one. I guess that's more of like a slug. Never mind. All right. Don't have a fun on the spot. Sure. We'll do that call. Yep, that's our phone number, isn't it? Well, it says where it's important to double check. Where don't we have it somewhere? Travis, do you know what our phone number is off the top of your head?
don't have it on the website. We actually took it off and stopped using the phone number.
All right, so let's not have any.
Yep.
All right, cut back here. All right, so now we're not going to worry too much about a display link or a browser add-on. Yes, let's add image ad. Where is this? Okay, next. Oh, here we go. This is funny. Huh, wait, is this the AI stuff? It is. Never mind. Okay, let's just hit next. Okay. This is exactly what I want, though. Because this just went out yesterday. Okay, we're just going to do this one for right now. Just a single image. Awesome. There we go. Edit that. There we go. Just making sure everything looks good. And see, we might need to do a different one for this. Let's replace this. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay. Whoa. And I bang. Attention. This one is small. And I fill it out with this.
What is this right here? What are we cropping out?
So this is for helping with ad placement. And I think I'm going to cut this out. Can I cut this out? Yeah, there you go. All right, so this is ad placement. So what's going to happen here is that there are 3 ways that this ad is going to pop up. So you have the 1-to-1 ratio, 9:16 ratio, and then the 1:91:1 ratio. So depending on, I probably could even do this. Hang on, let's replace this so that everything is consistent. Because I just figured it out with the last one. Because this is all going to help when it comes to placement. So again, this is going to pop up for Facebook stories. It's going to pop up on just people's pages, and it all kind of depends on if they're on desktop as on mobile as well. So let's grab this, because I just figured that out. There we go. Apply. So now everything is consistent. Okay, next. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now accepting clients. Hello. Contact team. Good. Date number today. Looking agency accepting new clients. Cross Chicago. Okay. Learn more. Contact us. Perfect. Alrighty. So that is going to help us with that. I'm only going to, again, just trying to streamline information here. Oh, this is new. This is so fun. We are not going to worry about this too much right now because the text definitely is not aligned with our brand, and we would definitely edit it accordingly. Here we go. Again, this is where you're going to see the different types of formatting with why I was cropping the images and everything. Be nice. Okay. See why I have this. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, see, and now this has updated a lot. All right. So I am just going to continue. I do like this. Curious about us? Sure. Okay. All right. So I'm not actually going to hit publish because, again, I want to make sure that everything is reviewed, and I would fill this out more. But just to get a basic starting point, like you can see here how this would look as an ad on Facebook. And again, you can also do this for Instagram. But say you're not ready to publish, which in this case we wouldn't be. All you're going to do is actually hit out of here. And when you're ready to go back and finish the ad, you can actually just click into here, and you can find this under campaigns, and you can also see ad sets and all that stuff. But just for cohesive and streamlined look at this is that here you would also see, like, this is where you come back after you hit publish, and you can see additional actions, results, cost per result, budget, amount spent, impressions, reach, and then also when it ends, right? So you can see from beginning to end when this ad is created to when it's wrapped up, and you can double check and cross-reference your results. So again, super basic intro to this, but this is just to get started on creating a meta ad for Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, I think it's the thing is the takeaway is it's not that difficult, or that it's not as scary as it looks, because there's a lot of buttons, a lot of options, a lot of tools. But they're making it even easier now, and they have detailed descriptions of what everything is. They have multiple options for you to look into. They're making the tagging and the data collection a little bit better at using AI, so that you don't have to worry if your connections are set up properly. That's going to feed the system better to generate better optimizations for the ads. So they're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, even though it looks intimidating. Just get in there and make a simple ad like that, I think, is the biggest takeaway here, and start to learn the tools, because it's not that hard, and they're updating it all the time to make it even easier.
Correct. And that's always kind of the thing too. When people are first starting out, like whether they're creating a new business page, they're trying to grow their audience, whatever it is, it might feel intimidating at first to see everything in Facebook. That's why I'm like, if you don't want to play with AI features, if you don't want to mess around with that, or you're getting nervous about it, like just stick to what you have already. Make sure the ratios are like sized accordingly. And then you can always edit as you go along. Like you can also do A/B testing, which is a whole other thing. And you can always use more content with that too. But again, it like just to get started, like that is the most basic way to kind of move along. And like those are the primary points you want to hit. And you can spend more time with AI features, creating that additional ad. And like, so you honestly don't even need you can continue to play around with like the features in there. And you can start with one image and continue to build it out already within the Facebook placement or like within the Facebook ad space. And it'll just give you more options. And it'll tell you which kind of content is hitting with an audience and what kind of results that means for your ad.
Yeah. And even if you're not running the ads yourself or you're planning on having an agency run them for you, get in there and learn just for the keywords and the knowledge so you can ask the right questions. You don't have to actually put money behind the ads. Just get in there, create a couple drafts, and at the very least, learn some of those topics or those categories so that when you're vetting out an agency, you can ask a specific question and just figure out why they do certain things. And having that knowledge and education will just help you make the better decision. All right, moving on from that. Thank you, Lauren. Let's get into this week's marketing quick hits. And we're going to be playing a different game. We're going to play good, better, best. So we're going to throw out marketing topics. We're going to give you the execution, a good execution, a better execution, and a best execution.
Alrighty, starting with number 1 for Travis. What is a good example of launching a campaign around a live event?
Okay, good, better, best for launching a campaign around a live event. Good would just be post leading up to that event, maybe talk about the date, time, and location of the event, and sharing a couple of reminders. Better would be posting about that event 2 to 3 weeks out ahead of time, maybe putting out some weekly reminders, and then using the countdowns or using email reminders to re-engage your audience. And then after the event, post a recap. Best would be to build out a 2 to 3 content runway where you're hitting that event multiple times. You're talking about that event multiple times. Create some teaser content, maybe a little trailer for the event. Put together some speaking highlights or some value-driven posts about what they'll learn at the event. Make it driven behind the actual value that you're going to be delivering in the event. Focus on building some excitement or momentum up towards the upcoming event and make it exciting. Get people interested about what's going on. And make sure you're targeting the right people. So put a plan together where you're putting out content with specific targets so that the right people show up to the event. Then when the event's going on, capture live content, share the key takeaways afterwards, do a full debrief, and make sure you remind them to come back next year.
I love that. Even might even want to do like as a follow-up, sending out an email and everything. And you can always, like, this is a huge thing, is that after an event and everything, you might want to send out a survey, quick 1 or 2 questions. And the number 1 question you want to ask is, would you attend this event again? And would you share this with a friend? Because that, again, just builds up momentum for if the event is happening next year, you're already creating a lead magnet for who could potentially be of interest.
Yeah. And keep track of who people are that came. Keep track of it if they filled out that survey. The people that did the most, you want to remember, because chances are they'll come back to the event again. And it doesn't even have to be next year. It could be next month, next week, whenever you do these events. But keep track of who's coming, who's engaging, and make sure you put them on a special list so that you can re-engage with them next time you're running the event.
Yep. Alrighty. Good one for number 1. Alrighty. Number 2, using Instagram Insights.
Okay. Good, better, best for using Instagram Insights. First, a good would just be check the views and the likes that each post gets and just mark down which one gets a lot of views and likes. Better would be tracking the saves, the shares, keeping track of the skip rate by the content type so you know which category of your content is getting saved or skipped more than other categories. Identify some patterns of your top performers. Maybe you identify certain hooks or backdrops that are working well. And then using that information to craft a little bit better posts, maybe when you're posting it or what type of hooks you're using in that post. Best would be to use the entire content fleet, look into what's working, look into optimizing your content and build a system around what's performing well. A system of hooks, a system of backdrops. For example, use your skip rate to update your hooks. So if people are skipping early, tweak your hooks. Use your views over time to improve that retention rate. Find out where people are dropping off in the video. If it's at the beginning, you have a problem with your hooks. If it's in the middle, maybe it's going a little bit too long or you're not being as interesting. You're not actually driving value. So use that to actually adjust the content that you're putting out. Look at the saves and shares to create more value that people would like to save to come back or that they think is valuable or entertaining to share with other people. So learn what content is being shared and saved and start repeating that. And then turn all your winners into a system. Don't just repost that content again. Figure out what made that win and create a system around that so that you can repeat similar content that also wins.
Yeah. Good talk. Yeah. No, I think those are all great points. Alrighty. Number 3, repurposing a long form video.
All right. Good, better, best for repurposing a long form video. Take your long form video and cut 1 to 2 clips out of that into short form so you can post them on Instagram or Facebook. Better would be clipping multiple clips of that video around different moments or hooks, and let's say 5 clips out of that video, and sharing them in your stories as well as sharing them on other platforms. And then best would be creating and crafting your long form content with specific purposes in mind to be clipped and to be shared, using that to clip out on other platforms, using that to create 5 to 10 videos, maybe even 2 to 3 blog posts on that, and sending out an email blast with that exact content from the video.
Yep. Love to hear that breakdown. Alrighty, and final one for you, number 4, using AI video tools.
Good, better, best for using AI video tools. Good is just using AI to create a quick visual or B-roll, or just testing out a video idea. Better would be using it to create B-roll to add to your existing content and coming up with multiple ideas or multiple hooks for a specific content piece. And best would be using AI for speed, trying to come up with as many hooks, as many visual directions, using it to come up with different script examples, and then amplify the videos that are working well, re-record them with a human element, replace the AI-generated content with original content in front of it, but using AI to improve your workflow and come up with better ideas that sound good.
Yeah, no. And again, the best option, like that you just talked about, will ultimately save people time and energy and hopefully bring in those higher results that they're looking for.
Yeah. All right, let's flip it around. I'm going to send it over to you, Lauren. What is the good, better, best for promoting a webinar on LinkedIn?
I would say a good example is at least posting once about it on the company page, encouraging people to check out like the reservation link or, signing up right away. A better example is to run a LinkedIn events ad, which we just talked about, which is also establishing a clear call to action, like join thousands of people about to, learn about XYZ. But the best example is to build a full event funnel. So that is kind of pulling off of what you just recently said, where it's like there's a teaser, like there's teaser content, a trailer of some kind. They have clips of the speakers that are going to be there, encouraging other people to join. There's the event ad. There is retargeting ads and emails and targeted emails going out to people who have shown interest in the past, which you should have data on already. And then additionally following that up is like post-event clips. So whoever is the marketing person, like they're capturing live content, they're repurposing it. It can be multiple avenues of content that is published from that. And then a follow-up offer, whether that is be on an early access list, maybe there's a special promotion like right after the event, and just re-engaging the audience that just attended. And an event is not just one post, it is a whole campaign.
Yeah, I think that treating it as a full-on event, full scope, full circle event with before, during, and after is the best thing that you can do with that. Is it's not just a one-time thing. How can you turn this into a lead magnet? How can you turn it into a funnel that is repeatable? How can you actually use this lead that's being generated for this event?
Yeah.
All right. What about good, better, best for creating a product launch?
Yeah. So a good version would just be to announce that the product is available. Like, hey, check this out. A better example would be creating content explaining the problem it solves and why is now the right time to jump on this opportunity. A best example will be to build anticipation before a launch, and this involves creators, small or large, or even customers like testimonials or early access to like loyal customers of some kind. There is definitely an added urgency where it's like limited time offer or a limited time deal, and create social proof as people start buying. So again, you're really engaging the community that is already loyal to the actual company and creating content from them. And ultimately, a launch should create momentum before the product drops. So if you are not sure, if you're testing a couple different things, this is absolutely where you can do trial reels to see what kind of engagement comes from that first. You can do A/B testing to see, again, what kind of content is landing with people before you put a full budget behind the product launch. And yeah, you ultimately just want to encourage people to check it out. So those are just kind of quick, good, better, best of that.
Yeah, make it as fun as you can. I mean, life is short, so just have fun with it. Try and create a ecosystem for the product launch instead of just posting it, talking about it. craft specific branding about it, make the page relevant to the event, the launch that you're doing, make it some type of moment that is fun that people can follow along with.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are your thoughts on a good, better, best for making content easier to share?
That's a good one. So a good example is to create a useful post and add basic calls to action like share this or like this or comment below. Better would be adding a better hook, a simple takeaway, and having some kind of shareable format. Again, this kind of goes back to what we were saying about the YouTube update with like being able to do a specific timeshare, like create a moment within the actual content to like have it be like the gotcha moment or like a surprise look, whatever it might be, a funny takeaway of some kind. Like that would be kind of a better example or some kind of, again, takeaway. But the best version, I would have to say, is packaging the content around a moment, phrase, checklist, reaction, or visual that people want to send to someone. So again, not necessarily it's like being like meme culture, but it's something like that where it's like there is a moment within this that wants to be shared with the audience or be shared among other friends and communities. Because if you're friends with someone in marketing and there's a really good takeaway, you're going to want to send it to that person so that you're up on date with everything else. Because at the end of the day, like shareability is designed. Like it usually does not happen by accident. Making timely content like the Drafts 57 campaign, people will want to cover that ASAP. So build content people want to associate with. So that is like status, identity, or expertise.
Yeah, I think there's so many people trying to, post videos online. So it's about being relevant in the time. So the NFL draft's coming out. Talk about the NFL draft. The Olympics are coming out. How can you post something around the Olympics? Because people are going to be sharing that, especially sharing who's first, right? If you post about the Olympics 4 months after, cool, that's old news. But definitely that timely part is important.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
All right, now what are your thoughts on the good, better, best for measuring whether a reel video is performing well or worked?
Yes. So a good example is just seeing how many views it got. Like, especially if you're like, there's been many stories of people on TikTok where they're like, I posted this and then all of a sudden it went viral or some kind. And it's like, well, you can see the views, like the views are public. And so that's just, that's great to see, but that's just good. So a better example would be to compare watch times and like shares, saves, skip rate, and comments. Like a lot of platforms across the board are definitely taking an eye on engagement. So comments are a big one, shares are a big one. So analyzing those two are definitely better metrics to keep an eye on. And then the best would have to be matching the metric to the goal and identify why a post was successful. So like awareness is reach and shares, education is saves and completion, trust is comments and DMs, and then conversions are clicks, inquiries, and book calls. A viral post can fail if it does not, A viral post can fail if it does not support the business goals. So again, you want a lot of intention going into something, and if it becomes viral, cool. But at the end of the day, something doesn't need to go viral for it to be successful. So again, you really want to keep an eye on those metrics.
Yeah, I think that's like a sign of a confident business owner or confident businesses. You have posts that aren't going viral or aren't, successful by the vanity metrics, but you know internally that it's still working because you've tied those to specific business goals. You don't have to have huge numbers. Still can help your business out if you know exactly what some of those things are targeting and what they end up with.
Yeah, niche communities can have big results. Like again, it's like you don't need the vanity followers, which you just said. It's like it's really about who are commenting because like I think a lot of people know, especially in marketing, it's like people can buy followers. You can't really buy that engagement. Or if you do see a lot of engagement, double check what it is because sometimes you can tell that it was bought as well. So again, you want the real audience to connect with what you're doing.
Yep. And that'll do it for this week's OS Marketing Report. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow our accounts for more marketing tips and information. Come back next week to learn more. And if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out. We'd love to help in any way. And yeah, we're not scary. We don't bite. So thank you for watching. Catch you next week.
See you next week.